cool here, and we're here with Tamale. Hey man, before we start, first and foremost, like I would like to thank everyone just for tuning in.
Yes.
Kia ora tātou, no mai haere mai, malolei, talofalava, burumanaka, ni ao ma, and warm greetings just for those who are watching. Right now, everyone else is having a meal. However, you're getting a special treat right now with Tamale. Tamale, man, I know this is not actually a live feed, this is a recording, but we're just a few days away from your big day. How are you feeling right now, man?
I don't know, I'm pretty much nervous, I'd say. This is probably the first time, I guess something's really been about, I guess, myself. Usually I'm the person in the background doing everything else for everyone else. So I guess to have kind of the attention on myself this weekend. I'm actually not sleeping at all. I don't know if it's the stress of being nervous for the day, but I guess at this point in time, probably I'd say very nervous. Very nervous, yeah.
It's weird. I've seen you grow up, Toko, and you're generally the one helping. You're generally the one, pushing the cart and helping out the fans. But this is your moment, Toko, and we're very proud to be spending this with your family and friends and everyone else. Let's get right into it and tell us a little bit about your upbringing.
Yes, my upbringing is probably different to some people that's in the room right now. It wasn't the greatest. It wasn't a typical mum and dad household for us. I guess when I came to the age of understanding that how life worked and the situation that we were in, I didn't realize at the time that our family wasn't normal, and we kind of fallen into this broken category of a broken home. And mum was a single parent, and whatever issues they had at that time was definitely not something I understood growing up. So growing up, I didn't have, I guess, that father figure kind of present in my life. And for whatever reason, it's definitely out of my control. But I'd like to say that my mum did an amazing job bringing up 5 children as well as the help of my grandmother. And it really made things a whole lot easier in the sense of trying to fulfill our needs and our wants, even being very, very broke, very, very poor in some weeks, actually most weeks. Mum would work to make ends meet, but that was definitely a big lesson for myself growing up, and I knew that when I was young and I grew up, I wanted to be something and make something of myself. But yeah, I guess my upbringing it's made me who I am today, I'd say.
You talked about your mum pulling in the extra miles, and this is not about me, but I'm kind of was in the same boat. But how do you feel that has shaped you and your siblings?
I guess it was more so realizing, like if this woman could do it, we could so do it as well. As small as she was definitely a loud woman, and she definitely made her presence known sometimes. But I guess her determination to make sure that we were left, they've always had something, we weren't left without. I think that's kind of shaped me into the person I am today. I guess her departure had a big thing to do with how I look at life now. I think I had to grow up a bit quickly and a bit faster than most kids should. I wouldn't say I was robbed of my childhood, but in a way I feel like that. And it's definitely no one's fault. It's life. Things happen, and I guess you can't control it and you can't complain, but rather take it on the chin and carry on, to be honest. So I think Mum putting the extra mile has inspired me in many ways.
May I say, man, I just can't believe that you're 21.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're watching this live, do comment below how old do you think this gentleman is, because when I say I can't believe that you're 21, you're really mature. Honestly, you're really mature for your age. And I think one thing that you've highlighted on that, you had to grow up real quick. For those that maybe in that kind of situation, like growing up and just finding it difficult, what are some advices or some tips that you've learned on the way that you can say, hey, if you maybe do this, this, and this, it might help you steer you in the right direction?
I guess, you're in a situation that you don't know what to do, and you kind of just take it as it comes. And I mean, I'm not an expert in how to deal with things that come up in life, but I guess knowing my story and coming through it, it's pretty much, you've got to face it, whatever your struggle is. There's no running away from it. And if you do manage to run away from it, it'll always come back. So you just face it, really, whether that will cause, trauma, or it'll bring up trauma from the past, whether that, means there's arguments and bringing up stories and I guess whatever the past has to offer, bring it up, talk about it. You've got to face your struggles in order to move on. So I think in the short 21 years I've been alive, I've learned that running away from your issues is definitely doesn't help you in the long run. It'll always come back and bite you in the behind, because it's a pretty hard question. I haven't put much thought into it because I'm always just
I like
doing
that.
it.
I do like that, not running away from it, and it is difficult, and you just kind of have to try and find a solution. And I think you nailed it on the head right there, is not running away from it. You talked about family, and you talked about you had a few siblings. I didn't know you had 5, by the way. Would you mind just going through the siblings and naming them each one by one?
Yeah, for sure. I actually have, I've got my 5 siblings, but I've got a lot of cousins that's I also consider my siblings, and that's just for the mere fact that we're brought up together. We're raised together by my mom and my grandma. One of my siblings is Eric, so Mongeloto. He is with Lizelle, and he's been kind of like the parent. They've been the parents to us ever since mom's passing. Kind of like our dad. So he's Mongeloto's eldest, and it comes to Apokasi, the junior. Him and his family live in Wanganui, so in the south. Oh, actually, south of Auckland. And then we've got Emma, my sister. She's probably my best friend, really. It's always me and her right now. So she's been amazing. Even my nephew Spence, Emma's son.
I was about to say that.
Definitely brings a different type of happiness to my life. And my little brother Wes, definitely very different, me and Wes, but so appreciative of his time, as well as my other siblings, Basi, Lola and Gappy, which is my grandma's grandchildren. We're brought up together, so I also very much consider them my siblings as well.
Oh, that's cool. I've met most. I'm pretty sure I met most of them as well. And mum, we talked about mum. Let's highlight mum for a moment. How would you describe your mum? For me, describe your mum, because I've never met your mum. However, I've heard from my wife. I've heard so many great stories and so many things. So how would you describe her to me?
And she was the most amazing lady I could even think of. And I try my best every day to be like her. She had persevered through her obstacles and all the adversity she faced in her life. And even though she did most of it solely on her own, she didn't stop her. And that's what I admire a lot about my mum, is that she was real hardworking. And always, I guess, she was a very God-fearing woman. Always told us that was God first and everything else will follow. And I guess that's kind of stuck with me since then. I was a mama's boy, for sure. Even us, the rest of the siblings, and probably everyone in this room, really, I was definitely mum's boy, and it came to a point when, I just wish he was here. I wish he was here to, I guess, reap the fruits of our labor, really. And she was taken way too soon, and there was so much life for her to live. And like I said, we had to just face it. We had to realize that mum wasn't getting any better, and I know she's in a better place, and I fully believe she's in a better place. She was definitely a loud lady, always often spoke her mind to many of us, or many hidings.
Which helped, though.
Yeah.
You know, a hiding here and there.
She gave us many hidings, didn't care where we were at. You know, we're sitting in church and she'd come and flick our ears from behind and, you know, red ears from the rest of the church, and she'd throw the remote at us, and the remote had to be taped up so many times because it was broken. You know, she had her own wooden spoon waiting there for when we had white Sunday practices. It was just...
I think you guys must have been naughty kids, man.
Oh, I don't know. Probably everyone else. Me and my little brother took the heat mostly for our older siblings, really, because they were probably in their rebellious phase. But me and Williams were the ones at home with Mum, so we kind of took all the hidings when Mum got mad at them, and they weren't coming home after school. But you know, looking back at it now, I'm just so grateful for the memories and just the woman she was. She was an amazing lady. Yeah.
You must have had a favourite dish that Mum made. You know, like all of us say, there's nothing like a dish that's made by Mum.
Yeah.
Was there a special dish that she would always make for you?
Mind you, we didn't have much when we were young, so Mum made a special dish. Well, special, because man, it was like a go-to. You know, every time we always had more. We always had that more. Always wali soya. Every night, even if we went every night, we're still eating. But Mum's chicken curry, like she made, was honestly the best, and no one can master it. Even Emma, like Emma's made it multiple times now. But even ask Emma, like Lizelle, Lotto's partner, like she's like, no one. It's missing something, and I think that was Mum's cooking. You know, there's something about our mother's cooking that they put into so much love and preparation into, you know, what it is that no one else can replicate. So I think Mum's curry chicken is probably something I'd die to have again. Hopefully today. I know. Hopefully sometime soon Emma can get better. But no, yeah, probably Mum's chicken is the best.
On our way here, we talked about like parents and how grateful for parents, and you and I are kind of in the same boat. Just a few words of wisdom to those who do have their mums still currently around. Yeah. What would you say to them?
Honestly, you're the biggest blessing in your life still with you, you know. I often talk to some work colleagues of mine who have little fights with their mums and you know, come up with little, I guess, disagreements with their parents and their mums. You know, like, I wish my mum would, you know, ground me one more time. Like, I long for a day that my mum's calling me and growling me to get my butt home. And like, you know, sometimes we often get mad because mum's annoying. Oh, you know, where are you? Where's this? Can you buy me this? Mahasene tiki here. Oh, we've got Miss Nelly this. And, you know, I long for days where I just wish like my phone would ring and it'll show Mum on it, you know. But I guess just be appreciative always, because and take heaps of photos. I think one thing I fully regret is not taking enough photos and memories of Mum.
Same as me, man. And videos.
Videos, it's the thing that you have, and that's the only tangible thing that you can hold and look at to, you know, memory trigger and all these things that come with. So I'd say be nice to your parents and your mum, as annoying as they can get, as much as they can get, and take heaps and heaps and heaps of photos and videos with your parents in general.
Man, thank you for sharing that and sharing those wonderful memories and wonderful words of wisdom. As we look into this, the final part as we catch up, is your graduation. By the way, what did you study?
So I studied a Bachelor of Arts, majoring in Education and Children and Learning. But I started off initially with a Bachelor of Arts majoring in Education, and was a double major of English and New Media Studies. Back in year 13, in 2019, I had this passion for teaching, as well as a passion for the subject of English. So that's where the interest of English kind of rose. And then I got to university, and it was a different story. You know, very much university English is different to high school English. So I guess as the years went, I kind of switched, and I changed my degree to a Bachelor of Arts, majoring still in Education, but as well as Children Learning, because, man, that's what my heart. I love children. I love little Spence, and you know, I guess being a part of that new generation, the next generation, was something that was well within myself, and I wanted to be a part of. And that was the whole reason why I decided to take this degree, and I'd like to say I learned quite a lot. Very much enjoyed the time, and you know, yes, there's struggles, yes, there were moments where I wanted to give up and ask my siblings. There were moments where I just wanted to just wake up in the morning and stay in bed and not get up. But there's always a reason why you get up. There's a reason why, you know, you do what you do, and there's a reason why I went to university is that, none of my siblings really had the opportunity to do that. And so me and Mum was talking one time when we went to an appointment of hers. She was like, Male, I want one of you guys to graduate from university, and to get a good job, and as any parent would. And, from then day on, I made a promise to her and said, hey, you know what, Mum, I will. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but there'll come a time where I will graduate and make you proud. And I guess now I can say that, Mum, this is it, Mum. And I hope she's proud, because it took definitely a lot of blood, sweat and tears, but it's definitely something that I hope she's proud, and I think most of it was for her. It's definitely for her, and knowing that her son made it and Mama's boy made it, so we did it, Mum.
Oh, that's so awesome, mate. You talked about the trials and you talked about giving up. I think you mainly answered why you persevered through these time of trials. Apart from your mum being the motivator, was there anything else that motivated you as well through these tough trials? Because, yeah, man, I've been there. I've been in the study trenches, doing those all-nighters, leaving it last minute. Also wait for this to go past. Yeah, what else is there? What else did you use? Or was that just it?
No, there was definitely more to it. It was more so wanting to make something of myself. I guess I'm finding my place in the world, and I guess realizing that I can actually do it. And at a young age, I already knew that. I think I already knew. To be honest, I knew that I was going to go to university, but it was more so wanting to be something of myself, to make something of myself, so that my mum would always say, "Mo tokanke ako," go actually listen in school, because there'll come a time that they'll bully me, or there'll come a time where I'm no longer around, and he kai te mo whakaofaha ao, so there'll come a time where you guys people won't look down on you and feel sorry for you, essentially. So I guess going to university and having this idealistic structure from society that you need to go to university and have a good job, that was kind of stuck in my head. And I guess that was a motivator. As much as it's not so much, I guess, the go-to thing now, I think the wanting to be something and proving myself to those surrounding that, yes, I don't have parents, but this is definitely something that I did on my own. I went up and got up to those 8 a.m. lectures, and as much as it definitely sucked, there was a finishing goal. And I guess today is a testament of that, having everyone join me today to celebrate that, and as well as it's just the beginning, being a part of something bigger. And who knows, that there, and a lot of things has changed since then, and it's been amazing. But I guess that passion will always be there to be something of myself through the degree that I chose to study.
Oh, awesome. How amazing. Once again, congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Just before we wrap this up, two more things. Two more things. First and foremost, if your mum was right here, what would you say to her?
Oh my gosh, it's such a question that I've always pondered on, especially at night. This week I haven't been sleeping, and like I said, it's probably the nerves, but I often close my eyes and like I'm talking to Mum, like, hey Mum, like I'm struggling, like can you like give me a signal or something that I need to do? So I guess if Mum was here, I'd probably say besides being hyper proud of me, I say that we made it, and the sacrifices of you working has paid off, and I want to give her the longest hug. And there's a lot to catch up on, a lot to fill you up on, but it's always things that I haven't failed to go to Mum, and I always talk to Mum at the grave, and yes, she's not there, but I feel much closer to her, knowing that this is where the last physical sight of Mum now lies, and that's kind of given me comfort to kind of outlet what I'm feeling when I go to the cemetery, and I often people probably think I'm crazy, really, just talking to a stone, but it's really helped me through my grief. And if she was sitting here, I'd probably just give her one line, probably not say anything at all, probably not say anything because she knows. I probably taught her everything. But just to feel that embrace of a mother is probably what I do. Silent embrace.
No, thanks for sharing that. Appreciate it. And lastly, before we cap things off and we join back for the celebrations with all your aunties that's on the dance floor. Hoi. Just some final thank yous, final words of wisdom, many thank yous for people who are, let's say hundreds of people, it's like we watch hundreds of people who are watching the live stream. Just a words of thank you for them and encouragement.
For sure. I mean, I just wanted to stay wouldn't be possible without, you know, my family and every one of you guys tuning in as well. So a lot of big thanks must definitely go to the Heavenly Father, you know, for bringing us here today and for the many trials and tribulations that it's taken to get to this day. So first and foremost, always glory to the man above. But as well as my immediate family, you know, we pulled it off. You know, it was a big plan that we had, and we were able to come up with this within the span of a few months. So definitely big thanks to my grandma Nena, Wa. She's been the back pillar really of this for myself in the planning. Definitely to my mum's side, all my aunties, my auntie Amelia from coming from Tonga, you know, making the trip to be with me as I celebrate this day, my first cousins, as well as my dad's side, thank you for being here. And as well as my Nineveh side, thank you for always being there for me, for us, and just the family in general. Definitely the man Lenny here, you know, being able to have this opportunity, appreciate that. Being able to broadcast this to everyone in the world and to look back to is something I'll be awfully grateful. And you know, my auntie Talita, she's been there always as our family kind of decorator, but more so she's been the one bringing us young ones together lately. So I'm so grateful for her that I get to reconnect with my cousins again. So big thank you. I don't want to name everyone, probably forget someone, but just know that from the bottom of my heart, I do appreciate you all. And I wish you guys all have a good time, those that are here and those that are watching from home. I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Once again, thank you so much for your time. No problem. And it's about time that we go back and meal with everyone on the dance floor. So thank you for joining us, and let's recommence into the live stream.